the homeostatic mechanism involved in blood pressure regulation. Blood pressure is the force extended on the walls of a blood vessel as blood passes through. It is determined by the contraction and relaxation of the heart's ventricles, cardiac output, blood volume, and vascular resistance. Irregular fluctuations in blood pressure may result in hypertension, which is low blood pressure, or hypertension, which is high blood pressure, which, if left untreated, can lead to serious adverse health conditions such as cardiovascular disease, kidney disease, and stroke. Everyday movements and exercise, relaxation, water intake, and subsequent sodium ion levels all influence blood pressure and trigger several mechanisms to maintain homeostatic parameters. A significant negative feedback system in the maintenance of homeostasis is the baroreceptor reflex. It's a rapid response to blood pressure fluctuations. Baroreceptors are a pressure-sensitive sensory receptor located within the aortic arch and coronary sinuses. As blood pulses through these blood vessels, the walls stretch and relax. The baroreceptors monitor the stretch of the vessels and send corresponding nerve impulses via the glossopharyngeal and vagus nerves to the cardiovascular and vasomotor centers of the medulla oblongata. These centers recognize variations in the number of action potentials received and elect an appropriate response to counteract the change. For example, when blood pressure falls, there is less stretch in the blood vessel and nerve impulses are subsequently sent at a slower rate. Conversely, when blood pressure is high, there is greater stretch in the blood vessels and nerve impulses are received at a faster pace. This recognized change in frequency triggers one of two responses within the autonomic nervous system, a sympathetic and a parasympathetic response. In the case of low blood pressure, the sympathetic nervous system will elect the secretion of epinephrine and norepinephrine from the adrenal medulla, which will simultaneously increase the heart rate and stroke volume, meaning greater cardiac output. Additionally, arterioles and veins in the skin constrict, increasing systemic vascular resistance. This is in comparison to when blood pressure is high. The parasympathetic nervous system decreases the heart rate and stroke volume, which lowers the cardiac output. Epinephrine works with B2 receptors in arterioles to dilate the blood vessels, thus decreasing systemic vascular resistance. Both of these responses are negative feedback loops. The stimulus is the variation in action potential frequency from controlled conditions. The baroreceptors send this information to the control centers within the medulla oblongata, which send an output to the effectors, the heart and the blood vessels, which respond appropriately until homeostasis is returned.
Created using Powtoon.